Today we are talking about symmetrical components. Whenever we are talking about a power system, understanding the analysis of the power system under the normal operating condition, we do the analysis on the per phase basis. Even when the power system undergoes symmetrical fault, it continues to be in symmetry and is balanced. But the moment the system faces an unsymmetrical fault, then the system steps out of symmetry, it becomes unbalanced. It is very difficult to analyze the systems which are unbalanced, and it is not at all possible through the per phase basis. Hence, a mathematical tool was designed to do the analysis of an unbalanced system. And this mathematical tool is called the symmetrical components. Now, we will talk in detail about these symmetrical components. Symmetrical components. Symmetrical components is a methodology which was discovered by Charles Fortescue way back in 1930. He demonstrated that any set of n unbalanced phasors could be expressed as a sum of n symmetrical sets of balanced phasors. Only the condition is that this value of n should be a prime number and all the phasors should be of the same frequency. Now considering the general power system, which is of three-phase, we can say that a three-phase unbalanced system can be expressed as a sum of three symmetrical sets of balanced phases. And these three sets of balanced phases are called positive sequence, negative sequence, and zero sequence components. The first set of the balanced phases, they're all equal in magnitude. They will be displaced by 120 degrees apart and has the same phase sequence as that of the unbalanced system of vectors and is called as positive sequence component. The second set of balanced phases are all again equal in magnitude. They're also displaced by 120 degrees, but they are having a phase sequence reverse to that of the original set of phases. And the third set of phasors are again balanced in nature, but they do not have any phase difference in them. And this tool is mostly used and more popularly used for visualizing and analyzing the unbalanced fault that is occurring on the power system. Let's understand the mathematical concepts behind this. Let us consider a three unbalanced phasor VA, VB, and VC, which are representing the phase voltages of the given star connected system and the phase sequences A, B, C. The positive sequence components are represented using the number 1. Therefore, VA1, VB1, and VC1 represent the positive sequence components. They are all equal in magnitude. They are symmetrically displaced by 120 degrees and they have the same phase sequence as that of the original vector. That is, they have the phase sequence as ABC. Second, 2 represents negative sequence components. So VA2, VB2, and VC2 represent the negative sequence components. They are all equal in magnitude. They are also symmetrically displaced by 120 degrees and they are having a phase sequence reverse to that of the original phase sequence. That is, now the phase sequence is ACB. Third, is represented by a 0, which represents zero sequence components. And these are all again the phases which are equal in magnitude and they do not have any displacement with respect to each other. They're all in phase quantities. How are they represented? VA, that is the phase voltage VA, unbalanced voltage VA, is equal to sum of VA0, VA1 and VA2, VB, sum of VB0, VB1 and VB2, VC, the sum of VC0, VC1 and VC2, where VB0, VC0, VA0 are all zero sequence components. As just explained, They are having equal magnitudes and they do not have any phase displacement. So they are simply equal to one another. Whereas when it comes to the positive sequence components, VB1 is having the same magnitude as that of VA1, but it is displaced by 120 degrees, so minus 120, or VA1 will be equal to plus 240. Similarly, VC1, which is further displaced by another 120 degrees. Therefore, VC1 will be equal to VA1 minus 240 degrees, or it will be equal to VA1 plus 120 degrees. These correspond to the positive sequence. When it comes to the negative sequence, they are now having a reverse phase sequence, ACB. Therefore, VB2 will be equal to VA2 at an angle of 120, and VC2 will be VA2 at an angle of minus 120 degrees. It can be observed that VB1 and VB2 are simply opposites. VC1 and VC2 again are simply opposites. Now this is plus 120 minus 120, minus 120 plus 120. Okay. Looking at the phasor diagram, the first part is showing a set of unbalanced phasor, which is having a phase sequence of A, B, and C, which is now resolved into positive, negative, and zero sequence. A, B, and C in anticlockwise direction. A, B, C phase sequence, positive sequence. A, C, B in anticlockwise direction. ACB phase sequence opposite to that of original vectors, so negative phase sequence. A, B, C, no phase difference, zero sequence vectors. You can see that B is at an angle of minus 120, C is at an angle of minus 240 or plus 120 for positive sequence. C is at an angle of minus 120, B is at an angle of minus 240 or plus 120 with respect to A when we are talking about negative sequence vectors. Now, this movement of the vectors with respect to the phase A by 120 degrees is represented by an operator which we call it as the alpha operator. Some books also refer to this as operator A. The symbol alpha is used to designate this operator which causes a rotation of 120 degree with unit magnitude. That is, alpha is a complex number of unit magnitude with an angle of 120 degrees and hence is represented as 1 at an angle of 120. What this means? Whenever any phasor is multiplied by this alpha, then that phasor will remain unchanged in magnitude and itself gets rotated by 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. That is what is the meaning of an operator alpha. Similarly, alpha square is alpha into alpha, that is 1 at an angle of 240 degrees, which means that when any phasor is multiplied by alpha square, its magnitude remains unchanged and it gets shifted or rotated by 240 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. Now this alpha has got various properties. We have just seen alpha is 1 at an angle 120, alpha square is 1 at an angle 240, alpha cube will be 1 at an angle 360, that is nothing but equal to 1. Alpha to the power of 4 is alpha itself, 1 plus alpha square is 0. Alpha conjugate is alpha square. Alpha minus alpha square is j root 3. Alpha square minus alpha is minus j root 3. These are some of the properties of alpha which we are supposed to understand and remember for all the further uses in the analysis of the power system. Now, let's represent the voltages of the other phases, that is B and C, in terms of the voltage of phase A using this alpha operator. We have seen that VB0 is equal to VC0, which is equal to VA0. No issues at all, simply goes. And we have seen that VB1 is VA1 at an angle of minus 120 or VA1 at an angle of plus 240. And 1 at an angle of 240 is nothing but alpha square. Therefore, VB1 will be equal to alpha square VA1. Similarly, VC1 is VA1 at an angle of 120, which is alpha at an angle of VA1. VB2 is VA2 at an angle of 120 degrees, that is alpha VA2. And VC2 is VA2 at an angle of minus 120 or VA2 at an angle of 240, therefore alpha square VA2. Then how does the expression for the voltages of the unbalanced phasor changes? The phase voltages therefore can be expressed in terms of symmetrical components. VA, which we know as VA0 plus VA1 plus VA2, continues because we are referring everything with respect to phase A. When it comes to phase B, VB is VB0 plus VB1 plus VB2. Further, we can express this VB0, VB1, VB2 in terms of VA. So, VA0 plus alpha square VA1 plus alpha VA1. VC0 plus VC1 plus VC2, which can be written as VA0 plus alpha VA1 plus alpha square VA1. And these three expressions can now be represented in the matrix form as VA, VB, VC, 1, 1, 1, 1 alpha square alpha, 1 alpha alpha square, VA0, VA1 and VA2. This is a form and these are the expressions that we need to remember. Similarly, as we expressed the phase voltages in terms of symmetrical components can also be expressed in terms of phase voltages. Just as we saw in the previous, from this particular matrix form of representation, we can see that VA0, VA1 and VA2 can be obtained as inverse of this matrix into VA, VB and VC. So VA0 is VA1, VA2 is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1 alpha square alpha, 1 alpha alpha square, inverse of that VA, VB, VC. Where? How do we find this inverse? Inverse is obtained as adjacent of this matrix divided by the determinant of this matrix. And when we do that and simplify, we get 1 by 3 times of 1, 1, 1 alpha, alpha square, 1 alpha square alpha, for which we use the properties of alpha to get the simplified expression, such as alpha cube is equal to 1, alpha to the power of 4 is alpha, and so on. So replacing this in this particular expression, we get VA0, VA1, VA2 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of 1, 1, 1, 1 alpha, alpha square, 1 alpha square alpha, VA, VB and VC. And expressing them in terms of regular expressions, we get VA0 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of VA, VB, VC. VA1 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of VA plus alpha, VB plus alpha square VC. VA2 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of VA plus alpha square VB plus alpha VC. Next, after they are interchangeably expressed in one term or the other, usually whenever we are talking about these components, we are referring to a star-connected system or an equivalent star-connected system. And whatever relations we have seen now with respect to the phase voltages of a star-connected or equivalent star-connected system can be extended to the line currents of the star-connected and the equivalent star-connected system. Therefore, IA, IB, IC, where this IA, IB, IC are representing the line currents, will be equal to 1, 1, 1, 1 alpha square alpha, 1 alpha alpha square, IA0, IA1, IA2, or other way around, IA0, IA1, IA2 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of 1, 1, 1, 1 alpha, alpha square, 1 alpha square alpha, IA, IB, and IC. Always to remember, without mention, whenever we are talking about any system, we are referring to a star-connected system or an equivalent star-connected system. And voltages are always referred to the phase voltages of the star-connected system, and the currents are referred with respect to the line currents of the star-connected system. And again, without mention, whenever we are talking about the sequence components, we are always referring to the phase A. And the other two phases can be later evaluated using the alpha operator with respect to phase A. Next. Until the system is only in one term, it is fine. but the system can be either star connected or delta connected system. And we know that in a star connected system, VL is equal to root 3 times of V phase. And in a delta connected system, IL is equal to root 3 times of I phase. The phase voltages in a star connected system is different than the line voltages in a star connected system. Similarly, the phase and line currents in a delta connected system are different. Therefore, even the sequence components of the phase voltages and the line voltages in a star connected system, the phase and line currents in a delta connected system are also different, and a relationship can be obtained. Further, it can be proved that whenever we are talking about a balanced system, then the three phase voltages will be having only positive sequence components. Let us now consider VA, VB, VC, which is a phase voltage of a balanced system. So which can be represented as VA, VB, and VC as the phasor diagram. They are all equal in magnitude and are displaced with 120 degrees with respect to one another. Therefore, VA is VA at an angle 0, VB is VA at an angle of minus 120, which is nothing but VA at an angle of plus 240, which is alpha square VA. VC is VA at an angle of 120, which is alpha VA. Therefore, now the voltages in terms of the symmetrical components, which we have already studied, the expression can be replaced with the new values, whatever we have understood for VA, VB, and VC. So replacing VA, VB, VC here with these values, we get VA0, VA1, VA2 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of 1, 1, 1, 1, alpha, alpha square, 1, alpha square, alpha, VA, alpha square, VA, alpha, V. Substituting for alpha cube as 1 and alpha to the power as alpha and 1 plus alpha square to be equal to 0, we get VA0, VA1, VA2 to be equal to 1 by 3 times of 0, 3 VA, 0. Expanding, we get the expressions as VA0 equal to 0, VA1 is equal to VA, and VA2 is 0, which clearly indicates that a balanced set of three phase voltages will have only positive sequence voltage. The negative and the zero sequence components are always absent in a balanced system. And this is also true with respect to the unbalanced set of line currents. Now let's try to build the relationship between phase and line quantities. First, let's consider the phase and line voltages of a star-connected system. We know that in a star-connected system, VL is equal to root 3 V phase. Consider the star-connected system. VA, VB, and VC are representing the phase voltages of a star-connected system with respect to phase A, phase B, and phase C. Let VAB represent the line voltage between A and B, VBC the line voltage between B and C, and VCA the line voltage between C and A, which are further represented as V capital C, V capital A, V capital B, which are obtained by the vertex which is opposite to that particular arm. VC, we are talking about this VAB, and C is the opposite vertex. VBC and A is the opposite vertex. VCA and B is the opposite vertex. That is how we have got this to be represented by V capital C, V capital A, and V capital B. Okay. So from the diagram, we can see that this VBC, which is nothing but V capital A, is nothing but equal to the difference between this voltage and this voltage. That is VC minus VB. Similarly, VCA is the difference between the voltage VA and VC. And VAB is difference between the voltage VB and VA. So that is what we have represented for the line voltages in terms of phase voltages. Now let's go to the expression of symmetrical components. The positive sequence component of the line voltage is obtained as V capital A1, that is the positive sequence component of line voltage A, is 1 by 3 times of VA plus alpha VB plus alpha square VC. Now replace V capital A, V capital B, V capital C with the phase voltages. And we understand that 1 by 3 times of VA plus alpha VB plus alpha square VC, which is nothing but equal to V small a1. And alpha minus alpha square is J times root 3. Therefore, VA1 become V capital A1 becomes J root 3 times of V small a1. That is, the positive sequence component of the line voltage is root 3 times the positive sequence component of the corresponding phase voltage and will lead it by 90 degrees. Similarly, the analysis can be extended to the negative sequence components wherein we get VA2 to be equal to minus J root 3 times of small VA2, which indicates that the negative sequence component of the line voltage is root 3 times the negative sequence component of the corresponding phase voltage and lags it by 90 degrees. When it comes to the zero sequence component, we can observe that V capital A naught is 1 by 3 times of VA plus VB plus VC, and representing them in terms of the phase voltages, we get V capital A naught to be 0, meaning to say that the zero sequence component of line voltage in a star connected system is 0. Similarly, whatever has been done with respect to phase A can be continued and extended to phase B and phase C. So V capital B1 is J root 3 times of V small b1. V capital B2 is minus J root 3 times of V small b2, and VB naught is 0. Same thing continues with phase C. A similar relationship can be obtained for phase and line currents in a delta connected system. In the delta connected system, we know that IL is equal to root 3 times of I phase. Therefore, let's consider a delta connected system where IA, IB, IC, I small a, I small b, I small c are all representing the line currents which are entering the delta connected system. Remember, they're all entering the delta connected system. And then IAB, IBC, and ICD represent the phase currents of the delta connected system, which are represented as I capital C, I capital A, I capital B, again as the same theory, which are used to represent the opposite vertex of the considered branch. Therefore, they can be represented as I small a to be equal to I capital C minus IB by applying the KCL at every node. IB is equal to IA minus IC and IC to be equal to IB minus IA. Now to obtain the sequence components of phase currents in terms of line currents. Let us consider the line current IA1, which we know to be equal to 1 by 3 times of IA plus alpha IB plus alpha square IC. Now let's represent this IA, IB, IC, the line currents in terms of the phase currents. And we get I small a1 to be equal to J root 3 times of I capital A1, which indicates that the positive sequence component of the line current is root 3 times the positive sequence component of the phase current, corresponding phase current, and will lead it by 90 degrees. Similarly, when we talk about the negative sequence component, we can obtain the relation that IA2, small a2, meaning to say the negative sequence component of the line current is root 3 times the corresponding negative sequence component of the phase current and will lag it by 90 degrees. When it comes to the zero sequence component, we have seen that I small a naught, that is the negative zero sequence component of the line current, will now become equal to 0. That is, zero sequence component of line current is 0 in case of a delta connected system. That is, we have seen that the zero sequence currents are absent in the lines. A generalized statement is usually written for this and said, the zero sequence component of line current is absent not only in a delta connected system, but is absent in any three-phase, three-wire system. Whereas the zero sequence component of the phase current will continue to flow. The same can be extended for lines B and C also, as was done in case of the voltages. Now to remember, next point to remember is that when we started the discussion with the delta connected system, we assumed that these line currents are entering the delta connected system. If in case the line currents are leaving the delta connected system, then the expressions for the phase currents of a delta connected system in terms of line currents of the same delta connected system will change just opposite to whatever we had written now. IA1, that is the positive sequence component of the phase current in a delta connected system, will be root 3 times the line current of the same phase, but is now at an angle of minus 90 degrees, whereas the negative sequence component will lead by 90 degrees, just opposite to that of the previous understanding. Next, we just saw that whenever we are discussing about a three-phase, three-wire system, the line current zero sequence component is zero. So let's try to understand what is this three-wire system and what is the significance of this neutral, effect of neutral on the system. Let us consider a star-connected system which are having unbalanced line currents IA, IB and IC. Let us represent them in a star system. Consider the fourth wire in the neutral, which is connected through a switch. Now, two conditions can arise. When switch S is closed, then there is a connection to the neutral point, and when switch is open, there is no connection. Whenever there is a connection, then this forms a three-phase, four-wire system. Whereas when it is open, it is a three-phase, three-wire system. Whenever it is a four-wire system, there is a possibility of a current to flow through this particular line. Whereas when it is open, this current does not flow at all. No possibility, it is open. Therefore, in a three-wire system, IN is 0, but when a four-wire system, IN exists. Let's understand and find out what is this value of IN in the two cases. First case, when switch S is closed, that is when it is acting as a three-phase, four-wire system. In this case, the current can flow. Therefore, applying the KCL at node N, we get IN to be equal to IA plus IB plus IC. Substituting this IA, IB, IC in terms of the sequence components, that is IA is IA0 plus IA1 plus IB2, IA2. IB is IB0 plus IB1 plus IB2, and further can be expressed in terms of IA0. Similarly, IC can also be expressed in terms of symmetrical components of phase A. So when we are doing this and substituting, we get the current IN to be equal to 3 times IA0. What does it mean? It simply means that in the neutral line, the positive sequence component of current, the negative sequence component of current does not flow. Only zero sequence component of current flows, and it is thrice that value that flows in the line IN, which is connecting neutral to the ground. Next, what happens if the switch is open? If the switch is open, that means to say that there is no current flowing, that is IN is 0. But we have just seen that IN is equal to 3 times IA0. If IN is 0, it indicates that IA0 is also 0. It means to say that in case of a three-wire system, IA0 is 0. Zero sequence component of the line current is 0 in a three-wire system. This three-wire system can either be a star-connected three-wire system or it can be a delta-connected system. So in a three-wire system, IA0 will be equal to 0. Zero sequence component of line current. Thank you. We'll continue in the next class with complex power and phase shift in star delta transform.